All right, guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. Hope you're all good. So this video is brought to you in association with Morgan Amplification. So we're going to be looking at the MVP66. So the MV stands for master volume, the P stands for power scaling, and 66 stands for KT66 tubes, which are loaded into this beast. So I think this is one of the louder amplifiers that Morgan make. It's around 60 watts, 55, 60 watts. And with the KT66 tubes, it's super warm, powerful, supported low end, lots of headroom. But when you gain it up, it's got a really nice barky kind of tone to it. This amplifier is kind of based on a kind of JTM45 single channel, single master amplifier, where you can, lower the gain, run the master super high, get really spanky cleans, or you could go the other way and boost the gain and bring the master up to where it's comfortable to listen to, and you'll get some nice gain quality from the amplifier. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a full-on high gain amplifier by any stretch. If anything, it's more designed to be a clean amplifier that you'd put pedals in front of. And that's one of the things that Morgan Amplification are super renowned for, is how good their amplifiers sound with pedals in front. So of course, we're going to be using my Schmidt Array pedal board. I've actually changed a couple of pedals on there so that we've got the Origin Effects Revival Drive Compact to put in front of this. We'll be trying things like the Thunderclaw, the Octave. Going to use the Strat, and then probably I'm going to even try my Baritone, because the in-between split coil sounds on that might be really, really nice to listen to. And we're just going to get loads of tones. One of the things I do like about Morgan, obviously being great for pedals, is that you see players from all varieties using Morgan amps. The best place to demonstrate that is at NAMM. So we heard about this amplifier at NAMM 2020, but one of the cool things was if you went over to the Horizon Devices or Abassi Guitars booth, they were all using Morgan amps with all their pedal rigs. And I saw plenty of pedal board manufacturers and pedal manufacturers using Morgan amps to show off their pedals because of how good Morgan amps sound with pedals. So I'm really excited to throw my pedal board through it as well. So as you can see on the close-up camera, it's a super simple layout. Basically, you've got from left to right, you've got obviously your power switch and your standby, then you've got power, then you've got bass, middle and treble, you've got volume and gain. Now on the gain is a push-pull, which acts as a bright switch, but when you turn the treble pretty much all the way up, you probably won't notice the bright switch come into effect as much anymore. It's a really useful control, but you basically want to use it if you just need to get a little bit more out of your guitar. If you're not really feeling it, something like humbuckers maybe, you can brighten it up, and then you've still got plenty of headroom on the tone control, on the treble control, to be able to brighten up the sound of the guitar. As you can see on the close-ups, Morgan amplifiers look so nice. It's one of my favorite sort of Tolex designs, if that's the way to put it, that I've seen on an amplifier. It feels really good to touch as well, so that's another thumbs up from me. But generally, I just think they're one of the nicest sort of classy looking amplifiers you can get in the kind of boutique amplifier world. I also love the little lit up Morgan Amplification logo and the placement of it. Super clean, super tasteful. The power scaling feature of this amplifier is super useful because essentially you've got control over the power section on the front of the amp. So you can run this amp down at like 1 watt if you want to get boutique sort of clean sounds, but at low volumes you're not going to piss off your neighbors. You can essentially use an amplifier such as this at home with your pedal rig to practice, and then you can take the same amp to a gig and literally crank it so that it's deafeningly loud at 60 watts. And again, those KT66 will take your head off. So there are other features with the amp and a foot switchable boost. But rather a preamp boost, this works more like, it's actually a tone stack boost. So it boosts the tone stack, giving you essentially a little bit more intensity and brightness and a bit more gain and all that kind of stuff. And you've got control of how much of that you want to boost in on the back. And again, it's either something that you have in all the time, or you can foot switch it in and out using the foot switch. There's a TRS jack on the back. This amplifier does come with a cab as well. And I was sent the cab, but obviously I can't crank an amp like this, especially one based on a JTM45, that kind of sound, through a cabinet in this house. I would get a lot of noise complaints. So we're going to be using it, like all my other amp demos, into my load boxes. And in this video, we're going to be using the Universal Audio aux box. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is demonstrate how the bright push-pull control works on the gain pot. So let's just start with the guitar and how it sounds. There's a little bit of reverb from the aux box, but I'm running the volume super high and the gain low, so it's really clean. This is what we've got so far. Sounds really nice. But all I'm going to do is just pull the gain pot out now. So you can hear there's a lot more brightness there. Sound nice for those position 4, for example. So you're hearing a lot more brightness be added. It's almost losing a bit of body in a way, but when you push it back in, you'll notice that comes back. So it's like one or the other in a way, but it's almost nicer that you've got the headroom with the treble control as well. You don't even have to really mess around. Everything's at 12, as you can see. So it's really nicely voiced amplifier straight off the bat. I'm going to drop the master, boost the gain just under halfway. Let's have a listen. Yeah, it's a really nice sounding amplifier, super clean, just lovely. So I'll pull out the bright switch. It's a great feeling amplifier. Breaking into a bit of a sweat there. It feels so nice, really supported under your fingers for a clean sound. And I mean, the gain's up quite high. Obviously, you're getting some bark, but at the same time, it's dynamic and the touch is really there. Okay, so I've gunned the gain. This is the extent of the gain you're going to get from the amp. A little bit of mids, and I've pulled the bright switch out. So that was fun. In fact, it feels... Yeah, it's got a really good British barky... It feels that... It's got that JTM 45 feel to it. It's like a punchy, weighty note thing. It's punchy and weighty. Okay, so that's about the maximum amount of gain you're going to get from this amplifier before engaging the boost. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate the boost on and off, and remember that this boost is boosting the tone stack. So you should just get a nicer, richer, like, embellishment on the tone stack of the amplifier. So this is before, full gain. Sounds great. And now with the boost on full engaged. So it's considerable jump. You can actually get a lot of gain from it, in the sense it's like a hard rock, British barky kind of gain. It's not high gain at all, but it sounds really good with the Strat, so I'm really happy about that. What I like about this amplifier so far is the feel. Obviously, it's a beautiful sounding amplifier, very, very nice on the cleans. But what I like is getting a little bit of hair from the gain, you know, from the preamp, and then just hearing those punchy notes come through when you play dynamically, which is really nice. So using a bit of reverb and delay and all the rest of it, that's where this amp sounds really special to me. But anyway, let's try it out with some pedals. So it sounds fantastic. Bit of reverb and delay from the aux. And again, I put the boost on, but I backed off the gain and tried to, you know, basically tried to get that like punchy hair, like slight bit of hair on the tone, really on the neck pickup. So the first pedal we're going to try is the Origin Effects Revival. So let me just dial it in. Sounds great. Yeah, it does. It sounds really, really nice. I'm going to try it now with the Thunderclaw. Might drop off a bit of that, do a bit of, you know what, I'm going to throw the boost on. This is without, and here's with. Too much. This is without again. So I'm digging it with the Thunderclaw. Different vibe completely. Once again, I had to mess with the EQ a little bit, but yeah, it's really great. Every single pedal that I've tried it in so far, you feel like you can really hear the difference the pedal makes, but the amp kind of just blends with it really nicely. Revival Drive and the new Boss OC5. Plasma Drive. Okay, so I've got my Baritone. I finally got the production version and it's absolutely beautiful, but that's not the point of this video. It's to hear how Baritone will sound into the MVP66. So this is down in A standard. So let's just have a listen. It's in position 4, like a split coil thing. Let's have a listen. Okay, well there you go. There is a look at the Morgan Amplification MVP66. My first impressions of this were an absolutely beautiful sounding clean amplifier. And I think that that's where it's, for me, the strongest. Like obviously it's really, really good when you put pedals in front of it, but I'm kind of like, if you're going to get an amplifier like this, you want to hear it in all its glory on its own. I mean, yeah, put a compressor in front of it maybe, and you can do different drives and things like that. Of course, they're going to sound good. But really for me, the sound of the cleans with this thing, with the baritone, I tried to ring out those low notes as much as possible, because we're talking about, that was in drop G, that like chilled out bit I did. And you could just hear how warm and supported and beautiful those notes are allowed to ring out with this amplifier. It's a real breathtaking clean tone, like really stunning, sparkly, and the response under your fingers and the way you play. Yeah, it's really supportive, like not like a lot of clean amplifiers that I'm used to playing, you know, because like when you plug into like Obviously, Fender Twins are fantastic. When you plug into a Fender Twin, it can be quite unforgiving without reverb. You know, it's very uncompressed, very open, very just like clear for you to do your thing. Whereas this is a little more supportive. It's a little warmer. It like brings you in. It's like a little hug around your fingers when you play. And I'm really, really digging it. Not to mention the fact that you can run it really low volumes as well if you use it at home. So that's really, really cool. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Obviously, an amp like this is not cheap. It is a handcrafted boutique amplifier, so it is pretty expensive. But if you're looking at Morgan amps on YouTube, or you're in the market for one, you knew that anyway. So I would recommend this for any player that has a lot of different tones on their pedal board, but they need an absolutely stunning clean tone that they use a lot. Because one thing I would say is, there's no point in spending all the money on a beautiful amp like this if you're going to just play it with pedals all the time. Like, you want to show off how beautiful these clean sounds really are. So you kind of want a best of both, you know. Obviously, if you've got the cash, then buy it anyway if you're into it. But I would say that's its strength. It's a great pedal platform, but it is a stunning, clean amplifier, and I'm really impressed. And it does have some great gain on it too, but that's its strength for me. Anyway, as I said, let me know what you think in the comment section. I will link it in the description box. Like, subscribe, and share. As always, I've been Rabea, and I will see you all very soon.